To this channel, please share, subscribe, and like. Now today we are talking about the types of mapping. Now the first types of mapping is what called injective. And another name for injective is what called one-to-one. Injective is one-to-one. So if you see, we are talking about the two sets, which is set of X and T. And we know that this X will be our domain, this X will be our domain, and this T will be our codomain. And the function of X in relation to T. Now, for a mapping to be an injective, what are those things that we have to notice? What we need to notice, that's why we call it one-to-one. That means the element in X must be uniquely paired with the element in T, which is the codomain. That's why you can call it one-to-one mapping. That's injective, one-to-one. That again, the element in X must be uniquely paired with element in T. That means Benz 190 is paired with Mercedes. That means Benz 190 cannot also pair with Peugeot. One element in domain cannot pair with two elements in codomain. So for a mapping to be injective or one-to-one, every element in domain must be uniquely paired with element in codomain. That means uniquely, just for one. That's how I call it one-to-one. Now, this one also we see here is also is an injective. Is an injective. You can write it like this: P in relation to let me give this one like X in relation to X. The function is such that P is in relation to X. Now, what do I mean? If you look at this one also, is an injective, it's one-to-one mapping. It is uniquely paired with an element in codomain. 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 That is what we call one-to-one mapping. Not any element in domain must not pair with two elements in codomain. So that's how we call it one-to-one. Number two, another type of mapping we have is subjective. Don't forget, the first one is injective, the second one is subjective. Now when you look at this first example here, is a subjective mapping. Why? For you to call any mapping diagram subjective, all the codomain must be an image. You know, I said this is domain and this is codomain. This is domain, this is codomain. For me to call this one subjective, all the codomain must be an image. What I call image, you know, I told you that when you have something like this, all of them are uniquely paired with it is image. You can also call it image. You can also call it range. There must be, all of this must be image or range. That means no element is left out. No element is left out. If you look at this number 2, this one, F function of P so that is in relation to T. P is in relation to T. Now if you look at this one, it's not subjective. It's not subjective. Why? Because 1, 2, 3, 4 is only the image. But 5 from 1 to 5 is codomain. From 1 to 5 is codomain. And for you to call something subjective, there must all of this, assuming you stop at 4, you can call it subjective. But because of this 5, you know, this now has turned to codomain. From 1 to 5 is codomain. So it's no more subjective. Before you can call it subjective, all of the codomain elements must be image or range. All the codomain elements must be image, or you can call it range. That's why you can call it subjective. Don't forget, injective, one-to-one. That's injective. Injective is just talking about that all the elements in domain must be uniquely paired with elements in codomain. That means one for one. That's why we call injective the first one, one-to-one. But subjective is one to. Another name for subjective is one now, all of them are image, they are also range. But if you look at this one, not all of them are image, not all of them, they are not, 1 to 5 is not image, it's not range. That is why this kind of example is not subjective. It's not subjective. It can only be referred to as injective. This one is injective. That's 1 to 1. This one is subjective. That is onto. So let's go to number 3 types of mapping.